Laura here, nice of you to join me. Welcome to my channel and to part 8, I believe, of the Passion Lady Vagabond album tutorial. In this video we are going to be doing the diagonal flap page, which is our last page in the book before we go on to our inside covers. So the inside covers will be coming in the next part. Ooh, I'm looking forward to them because I really like those. Those are brilliant. So watch out for that video. So for the page, I've got a tuck spot here. So this is the tuck spot that goes in there. Then you just flap open and then flap open again. And then I've just got a hidden pocket inside. Not a hidden pocket, a hidden slot inside where you just put obviously your tags. I've got a smaller one in there. You can have a few in there if you want to, but I've just got the one. You don't even need to have that. You could have a pocket on there instead, which would work out really well. You could have these flapping open, so you've got another flap out again if you want to. Maybe ones that flap down, that might be quite good. So you could have it so that it made the square up either side. That would look really cool. That might be something in the future. And then it's just kept closed with some magnets, but you can have it, because I've got a tuck spot here, so you could have that closed and that coming out like that, or you could have that in there and then that's closed open. You can't have closed open. Oh, it's so early in the morning as well, so I should be more alive. Well, I should be more alert. I'm just tripping up my words today. I think it's having the extra camera that is tripping me up, really. So yeah, I'm hoping you're liking this. It is a bit nerve-wracking, I must admit, but I'm enjoying it. It's different. It is different. It's just strange seeing myself on camera, but you get used to it, I suppose. So so that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's stop the waffle tomorrow and get on with the video. Okay, so the measurements that we need for today, not very many at the moment, so yay! Right, so the measurements that we need are 7.5 by 7.5, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut that on the diagonal so that we can create our flaps that open on the diagonal. So get in your card without everything falling out. Move, let me create a bit of space. So 7.5 by 7.5. I'm hoping that's going to be the right. Yes, that's going to give me a nice a nice size. Okay, so what I tend to do on when I cut the diagonal is I line up the points with the center of my gully where your trimmer is. And there we go, one, and it's moved. There we go, and then just chop that down. So move that out of the way again. Bring in your card, or your paper should I say. Make sure this time that it's the right side up, because if you looked in my previous videos, previous video, I put my pages on upside down. Now the reason that's falling out is because I haven't got anything else in there to keep it from falling out. There we go. Need to bulk it out just a tiny bit. So, getting your pieces, lay them out on your page, how you're going to have them going. Now, you can have them, your openings, however you want. So you could have your openings opening from the top, so that would open that way, and then that would open that way if you wanted. I'm having them open to the sides like so, like that, but again, it's up to you however you want to do it. So you need to work that out before you score. So I'm going to open this way, so I'm just going to put a little arrow like so, so that I know that that's where I'm going to put my score lines. So if I was going to have them opening this way, then you'd put your score line, you'd put your arrows open going to the top. So for the scores, so I'm going to do a half and then 5/8, like so, and then bring your other one in. Half and 5/8. Okay, and then just fold those two score lines over, and what that's going to create is just a little track, okay, like so, just like a little tiny spine. It's just so that if you bulk out in this part, you have just got a little bit of give. So we've got these extra bits here. We're going to chop those off. You don't need them. And again on that side, chop it off and throw it in the bin. Okay. So we've got our diagonal flaps like so. Bring in your paper. So you need now to pick your pattern paper. This takes me forever, but I'm just going to pick one today. And no messing about, hey? I just did it. No messing about. Okay, so if that was 7.5, let me just double check, because we've come down on some measurements. So that is 6 3/4. So 6 3/4. So you want to do that at 6 5/8. So your page needs to be 6 5/8. Let me double check. No. 6 3/4. So your measurement is 6 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to cut it in half. Now, before we cut it in half, you need to get your diagonal cardstock pieces and work out which point you need to cut it from. So I need to cut it from that corner to that corner. So I'm just going to put a little dot there, so that I know that that's the corners I need to cut to. Because I've done it where I've cut this way, I've just gone in and cut, and obviously it's been the wrong way, and then because this is a directional paper, it doesn't work when you do the diagonal. So in and in, like so. Let's move that out of the way. The moment of truth. Is it going to work? Yay! I've got a nice border around there, and they fit perfectly. So you know what's coming next. Of course, it is ink those edges. I'm going to talk about the weather. So the weather today here in the UK is a bit overcast and a lot cooler than what it was yesterday. It was really warm here yesterday. It was lovely, I have to say. It was really nice. And yeah, it makes you feel so much better when the sun is shining, I think. It really does. It just makes everything look nicer and brighter, and it does. It just makes everything all shiny. So, nearly done. We'll put that on there and that on there. I'm doing that and I forget you can see me. That's funny. Okay, right, let's go ahead. I don't want to stick this on just yet, or do I? I don't know. No, we'll leave that for the moment. Right, so bring in your page, and we are working on the back of the one that we've done with the pocket, the right way round. Remember to get it the right way round. And we can cut the pattern paper now for the back. So we need to cut it at 7 5/8 by 7 7/8. So again, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I am just going to pick my paper. That's going to be that one. Okay. And so we need it at 7 5/8 needs to be this side. I always find it easier to, when you've got directional paper, to work out which measurement goes where, and how, especially if you've got different widths of your page, is to put the page in, or your paper in, and then work out how it goes. So for instance, mine is this way, so I know that I need to cut this side needs to be at 7 5/8. So 7 5/8 by 7 7/8. So I'm going to just chop off a little bit of the top here. I don't want to chop a hand off. And then turn it round. 7 7/8. I might just have to a little point of a foot off, but I can't odds that. And then just check to make sure that it fits nicely. It does. Okay, we can ink them edges. And if you've got the Cool Cats slot dies, then you can use those. I'm just going to, because I'll have to get my Gemini out, I'm just going to measure them and do them that way. So okay, so we can work on the back side of this now, so we can work on this part to do our measurements. Okay, so we've cut out our pattern paper, and we now need to work on putting in our hidden slots. Now, I do apologise now if you can hear a few bits of banging going on in the background. As I said in previous videos, I'm having some renovations done, and I've got some workmen here today, so yeah, you might hear a few bits of banging, and so I do apologise. I couldn't get away without doing this video and then being here, so please excuse the noise. So working on the back side of our pattern paper on this part, we're going to we're going to put our measurements on. So I'm just going to use my pen, and we need to measure 1 inch from one edge there, turn over and do the other the opposite end, and that's also at 1 inch. Okay, and then measuring from the top, measure down. We're going to go with 2, 4 and 6. Okay, and then draw your line, but you're just going to draw your line so that you go from one inch to the other 1 inch. So 1, 2, 3. Then taking a very sharp craft knife, we're going to cut our line through. So we go from there, so it's 1 and 2, 3, like so. So you can just about see my 3 lines there. So I'm going to ink the top part of each of the cut lines first of all, and then turn it round and then ink the bottom part. And again there, and then ink round your edges as well. We are going to add in our reinforcing strips in here as well, so to obviously reinforce our openings so that once we keep putting in and out our tags, it doesn't get it doesn't rip. But we're also going to add our little, now the small crocodile won't, because this is 1 inch, it won't fit. It's not doesn't give a wide enough gap when you come to punch your hose. So I've got the big bite, and we're just going to add, I'm going to do the 1/8, and we're just going to add our little round punch line to the edge of our cut line, just to give that extra bit of leeway. There we go. Put that back. Okay, so that then is our little hidden slots already done. So now we just need to measure them up, and I tend to measure, I don't take into account the round bits on the end, I just measure the actual straight line. So that is 5 1/4. So we do a 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch. And what I should have done is done the 5 1/4 first, but I'm just going to cut them all at the same time. So 5 1/4. Okay. Just double check that they fit. Yes. And I'm going to put some glue on this one instead of double-sided tape to give me a bit of wiggle room. Hopefully. Start at the bottom, and then this goes onto the front side. Just push that down. I'll show you in just a moment where this goes. So it gets stuck onto the back of the page. Okay. Here we are. Sorry, I went quiet there. I was just in my own thoughts then. There we go. And then the last one again. There we are. So that then is the hidden slots done. What we need to do is make sure that your page that we've got the front pocket or the bottom pocket is the right way up. So flip it over, because we're obviously working on the back, and we can then add our hidden slots page, so that can go on. Now remember, don't put the glue all the way on. You just need the glue along the top, down the sides, and this doesn't seem always. Can I get that? So down the side, and I'm just going to do the top bit here because that will help it to stick. Okay, then we just need to push in like so. Yeah, so that then is the pockets. Let me just find so that we can see. Yeah, we can see that we can get some nice bits in there. Okay, now we need to put our little let me get my words out. We need to put our diagonal flaps on. Okay, work out where you want them to go. So put them together and then position them where they are going to go. And then what I tend to do is just put on a very faint pencil mark along the corners on either side. You probably won't be able to see this, but it will just give you that right angle so that you know, there we go, where they're going to sit. That way you can get them in their correct spot. And then I attach it with our trusty double-sided tape, and I tend to try and get it so that it is sitting as near to that scored edge as possible. Okay, and right, let's get this in place. So I'm just matching up my score line, no, the pencil lines with the scored line. Like so. Okay, I don't want to burnish it down just yet, and I've just noticed what I've done. Again, this is my first mistake that I've made. But we can rectify it. It's not a mistake, it's a happy accident. So then let's get this next one on. Again, lining up those pencil lines. And that pencil line as well. Okay, right, what's happened is I've ended up with a bit of a gap. I think when I've put this on, it must have moved when I was putting my pencil lines on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what we can do if that happens to you. So let's just get that so that it's straight. So as you can see, I have got a little bit of a gap there, but we can add like a spacer in between that, so that's going to fit across. So I'm going to do it probably about 3/4 of an inch to start with. So it's going to fit underneath, I think, like so. Ooh. So I've just put my glue on one side, and I'm just going to add then the strip to that, like so. Push it down. Oops, the cat came in. And then we're just going to take off that tiny bit there, and then we're going to just shape this side. I'm going to have to come in from this angle. And then just cut that bit off. There we go. And chop it off that side as well. And maybe a little bit, tiny bit more. There we go. Just so that it adds, you get that corner. And then this end, we're just going to put a pencil mark along and then cut off from there, like so. And then that gives us then our, so that you can't see the gap underneath. That sorted that problem out. So next job is the covering of, no it's not, the next job is adding our magnets to keep it closed. So I reckon we can get away with just one magnet on this, because we've got that extra strip in. I think we can just put one magnet on, because then this is going to keep this, that extra strip that we've put in is going to keep this side closed. So we just need one magnet, or two magnets. And we're going to put, it doesn't matter where it goes. So I'm just going to put it there. So you get your magnet and you open up the hole, and we just take it through and try and find where we've put that magnet. And did you hear it pop? Let me try it again, and then you'll hear it snap. There, so that's snapped into place. So all you need now is just a little bit of is your construction tape, and you just need to put it on to that magnet to keep it in place. There we go. Now you may need to add another one on the top front here, so that we've got a bit more of that magnetic force. Like so. Okay. Just to help that along, because these are quite small magnets, these ones. Okay. So now we can go ahead and add our double-sided tape. We can go and add our patterned paper. Okay, and then stick it down. That's 1 and 2. Okay, just stick this on and get it in the right position. Right, let's open that. Open that, like so, and that's that. Now we can put a little bit on here if you want to, another strip of some sort. We could add just a touch, so let me see how big that is. So that is going to be 3/8. So let's go with 3/8. And I'm just going to leave it whole like this, and then I'll cut it down as we've put it on. So let's add go. Two. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut it off at the sides like so. One, so that then is just hiding. That's just hidden that gap. Okay. So now we can do exactly the same, and we can then pattern piece and put pattern paper on these sides here, and then that will finish that off. And then we've just got to add something at the bottom for a little tuck spot. If you want to put a tuck spot, you can. Let's find I am going to hopefully use that. Let's have a look. So we need 6 and I can't remember what I said. 6 3/4. So 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then we're going to put it, chop it, we're going to just do the diagonal, like so, 2. And what I didn't do was do my dot, but because this is the back, I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, so let's put it that side. So do the distressing. And put the glue on. Okay, so that's 1 and 2 goes that way. So now we can just use, so we could either put a little tuck spot in, and then that can go sort of on like that, if you want to put your little tuck spot. And then we've got some spaces here for our little tags, our photo mats that go on like so. Now you can put a tuck spot down here, so that would be quite nice. The dress, put that dress on there like so, and then the little, it can go in like that. That would be quite nice. So we'll use that one. So I like to, on my chipboard, I like to also distress the edges, as it hides then that raw chipboard edge. Just looks nicer. And then with that, I'm just going to put some of the glue just down one side. And stick that on. And then that can go sort of in there. And then it's, we've put our tuck spot on, which is looking very good in there, and we just now need to add some tags to go in, and then we've sort of finished virtually. I might add down here some strips of paper just to hide this black edge. So that was would have been, I think that's 3/8. So that's a half. So this would be 3/8. So 3/8. Like so, just to hide it a little bit. So I'm just going to eye that top bit there. There we go. And then just cut it at an angle. we go, a bit more. There we are. And just edge them. And glue. And then push that on. That's one. That just makes it look a little bit better. It doesn't stick out now like a sore thumb. And just another piece. That's okay. So again, 3/8. And okay, just by it. And distress ink the edges. So we've added that, and you could have it on the outside if you wanted, or as I've done, on the inside. So it's really up to you, however you want that extra strip. If you wanted to do that extra strip on there, you could. And then, where's my little tag thing gone? Then that could have kept that all shut like so. So that's another way of doing it, which I quite like it that way actually. I'm going to leave it, I think, that way. Sorry, I do keep looking up. It's because I've got a monitor above, and I look at that to look at the picture. I really could do it with the eye level now, really. Then I could see, it wouldn't look so obvious me looking up all the time. So, and that is the basis of that page done. So that was quite quick and easy. I say quick and easy, it's probably a good 40 minutes or so. But we've got to do the tags. But I say we're going to do I'm going to do the tags all at the end when we've got all our offcuts left, so that we can use our offcuts and use it all up. So thanks. Oh, I'll tell you what we have got to do before I break into my outro. We need to add these to our book. So that one's at the back, so it goes like that and like that. So to add them to our book, now as these are our last two, we don't need to work back to front, we can just put them in. So double-sided tape, but not that one because that's too thin. So double-sided tape on both sides of our hinge. Now I tend to put this so that it goes as near to the edge as you can get it. You don't want it near the scored edge because you don't want it to be seen. So that's why I say put it as near to the top edge as you can. So that's one, and let's do the second one. I might as well do both while we've got our double-sided out. And the other side. Now the other thing we've got to do as well is put our pattern paper in between our hinges here, so this bit here, just to finish that off. But again, we can do that at a later stage. So 1, 2. So this one goes first. So I tend to also put some glue on top of the double-sided tape so that you've got some, yep, you guessed it, wiggle room, and that way we can maneuver our pages into position, because you don't want them to stick straight away and then them be not. But I am going to turn this round so that I can get them correctly aligned. Like so. There we go. That's 1, 2. And then the last page, take off the double-sided backing. 1, 2. And I'm going to do the same with this side, just so that I can work it out and then push it down like so. Okay, and then that is the 4 pages done. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we've got left now is the lattice work on the front and the back, and then our tags to do. Oh, and this bit inside. So the lattice work ones will be coming very shortly, so please watch out for that. If you haven't seen any of the other pages, then click on this link in this corner here, and that will take you to the whole playlist, so please check them out. Also, don't check out the rest of my channel, check out the rest of my videos. I've got quite a few different videos on there of different memory books of how to put them together. So yeah, please go check out my channel as well. So thank you again for watching and supporting me. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Please give me a like as well. It all helps, it really does. Come and check me out on Facebook, Instagram and all the other social media platforms. I will list and link everything down below, as well as a few shopping links as well. So please check them out. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.